We live, man.
We
back,
are live.
Back for another one.
Back. Life has been a lot since the last time we recorded, for whatever reasons. But welcome back, everybody, to my name is Jacquil, right?
It's Adrian Peace.
And this is
the Nice Guys Podcast.
If my energy is a little lackluster, there's been a lot going on.
It's been a lot, yeah.
It's been very interesting, I'll say, to say the least.
Right.
But I think today, I'm always vocal. I think we should talk about just not wasting time.
Not wasting time.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
Not wasting time, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, full transparency, we don't have no real topic today, but that's kind of going to be the theme.
Yeah, we're going to put it in the,
a little disclaimer.
Not wasting time.
Oh, yeah. Title, episode title.
It's like,
don't waste my time, I won't waste yours.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, when I say these things, it's just more so, a lot of times we sweat the small stuff in life.
For sure.
And you just be like, why do that? Life is so short. In essence, I've seen some things coming from a certain area of the country where it's very like people don't have a regard, have a disregard for life. You know what I'm saying? And it's so much more that we can contribute as a society. I look at Star Trek, right? They didn't waste no time. In that concept, they put enough technology and things together to not sweat the small stuff. From racial boundaries to sexual orientation, whatever they was dealing with, they dealt with it, and they was able to go past it, get technological advances, and explore the known universe that we live in. We do live in a universe of
bigger things at stake.
Exactly. And no offense to the flat earthers, the people that believe in that the earth is flat and just keeps going on and on forever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Whatever you want to believe. See, they're wrong, because if that's the case, there'd be no point in having satellites orbiting the Earth. Orbiting. When things orbit, it goes in a circle. It's cylindrical. I don't know how else to put this into context, but whoever believes in that,
by all means,
you can have that. But when I get back to don't sweat the small stuff, don't waste time. And time is relative. It's not a real thing. It's more of a measurement so we can understand what's going on and keep track and survival. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we know that in history they had to keep track of time and season in order to keep food in production, because if they didn't, then people would just die off and whole villages and societies would just collapse. Uh-huh. So there's a measurement. It is used and utilized in a certain way, but I think that sometimes we take it for granted, these moments, because everything it's more, it's not even linear. It's a continuum, but it's not linear. I don't know how to describe time in this sense, because I think of it in a different way. Mm-hmm. But like, say for instance, you have issues with somebody, or I don't know, you have an issue with going forth and doing things in order to progress in life. It's just like, don't waste any time, because you're not guaranteed the next moment. We're not guaranteed the next day. And what's your feels on that, man? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like there's anything that you have been, holding back on, or felt like you should have kind of progressed more, and you just kind of sat back and just kind of thought you had more time to do things?
A million things. I feel like there's things from every kind of aspect of my life where, I could say that about, like, music. Like, I wish I been releasing all of these years, and instead of just being quiet out here, who knows where I would be career-wise, relationship-wise. I think, I feel like, although I'm satisfied with the people I have in my life right now, I feel like, if I wasn't so closed off in past years, who knows where relationship-wise I would be, in those sense. So, so there's a lot of things where I feel like, I should have or could have or would have done differently and given my time in certain places.
Yeah, no, I can definitely relate to the music thing. Shout out to my little project. It's like a little EP series I'm doing. This is Jacques Courbet. I created the concept, I'm a big fan of Gustave Courbet, because he just really was innovative and just like doing things straight to the point, realistic, no fanciful things. Even though my artwork is very fanciful, very colorful and cartoonish, but I admired the fact that he was willing to do that at the time because everybody was doing realism, but they were doing it in a way that was more fanciful and like, the gods and just, he was more in the Baroque period trying to make things more realistic, like actual photos and like the darker, deeper concepts of, artistry and artwork in itself. So he was different. I mean, he even got into some issues, some scuffles, went to jail. He was a real dude, a real cat. But at the same time, I admire the fact that he was able to do that. It was innovative because he stepped outside of that norm that was going on. And it was he was a trendsetter. He did something a little bit different. He's not really well talked about because nobody knows who Gustave Courbet is. I learned about him in one of my art history classes, so shout out to him, what he does. And my project is called Jacquil Courbet. This is just different parts of my life in these songs because I've recorded them in different areas of the country, whether it be in Chicago or in Florida, wherever the hell I was at the time. The songs came out, and I just never really put them out like I was supposed to. And I want to make sure they're out there, before anything or where they expire, whatever the situation will happen. And like, why some of them? Because some of the music I have is like 7 years old. Yeah. And I didn't really do a real promotion for it. I just kind of just threw it out there, whatever. I'm not expecting no big reaction from it. I just wanted to put the music out because it just been sitting. I listened to it for years. Yeah. But nobody's ever heard any of the songs. And if you want to check out my music, my stage name or my name on iTunes is King Jacques. That's KingJacque. And the project is called Jacques Courbet. So created the name, created the concept just because I was inspired. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, and I sat on it. I feel like a lot of people ask me like, why don't this? And even with my art, I didn't really start doing that. Yeah. Till some stuff kind of like was riveting in my life. So I've been, guilty of wasting time as well and holding back on certain things that I probably should have done. Not because I had lack of confidence, I just didn't feel like there was a lot of value in it, which is messed up. Because if you're given an ability to do something, you're supposed to do it, and push it. So
I think, and for me, like, it's kind of, I get like analysis paralysis of thinking about, okay, it's this, and this I gotta do surrounding this thing. Like, so for this album, like, all right, I gotta find the right engineer. I gotta find the right set of tracks. Okay, now we don't waited a couple months. The sonics are changing from where we think the sound is projected to be by the time it's dropped. So we got to go back and change 2 of these songs, and then all right, we gotta plan the rollout. Make sure we got shows lined up, all of this, that, and that. There's so much that goes into it. That it's easy to just be like, man, all right, I'm just take a break for a couple weeks. It's like,
I mean, I like that people. I just, for me, it's hard as an artist. I'm one of the type of artistic people. I'm just like, just do it, man. Like, I've gotten frustrated with folk. I'm like, I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want to wait for beats. I just do it, man. Because if you don't do it, you'll never do it. I'm realizing that at this point.
That's true.
Don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Don't waste time. If you don't do it, when you have the opportunity to do it, you probably won't end up doing it. Like, you'll keep pushing it off and procrastinating to the point where it just be like, damn, I just sat 7 years on some music that should have been out there or a video or whatever. And it's just like, you have the talent, you have the ability, just do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm even struggling with some things as an artist right now with painting. Like, I had this Tupac piece montage. I started like 2-3 months ago. I just cannot get myself to finish it. I don't know, sure why. I even did a mural recently, but I'm just not inspired to paint that. I think maybe I need to be inspired in a certain way, but I try to work on not wasting time though at the same time.
It's like, is there a right way to do things? Sure, but sometimes you gotta step outside of that and just do what you gotta do.
But what you're saying though is, I mean, I'm not knocking the rollout because it is a way to do things, the right way. But it's sometimes, like you said, if you don't have that right circle, right thing, or I don't know how to describe the cohesiveness, it can become daunting. Like, I'm not sure if I can even do this. This is still how it works. So. And shout out to you, man, because you do a lot, man. So definitely,
indeed,
my man behind the scenes do a lot, man. So I appreciate him even being patient with me, what he's doing with the pod and everything as well. And but again, if you see things that need to be done, like you look at things historically, like when you look at the civil rights movement, right?
Okay.
they couldn't take it no more.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that we have to be all inclusive, like that was the best thing, but of course you have to stand up for yourself. You know, if they would have sat back any longer, you know, where would we be at in history right now? We would have certain equal rights and things that, you know, need to be put into place. So you see what they did, and some of those people were, you know, were brave enough to stand out front, and not everybody's going to do that too. So I can understand the bravery and the fear of doing so, you know, because that fear is huge.
It's real. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know this is gonna be like a random tangent, but shout out to Kendrick for putting that song out there, Fear. Because on that project,
it's my favorite joint on there.
Yeah, on that project Down, Fear was like huge. And it almost ties back to generational curses, but you hear all this like negativity and things that are going on, things that are being said to you that can create this fear, create these insecurities. You know, like if somebody's talking down upon you or not being negative towards what you think you're able to pursue, and then you start to doubt it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you see that happening that's causing you to waste time or take away from situation, you might need to remove yourself from that environment too.
Definitely.
So I know. This is kind of a random episode. We just basically just kind of throwing stuff out there, but it all ties back to just really taking that time to really look at what's going on. You know, not letting, you know, things and moments pass you by because you're not getting that back. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting those moments back. And I'm dealing with that. You know, I have my moments where I have times when I just like I said, overanalysis paralysis, and I sit there and I'm like, yo, move, you know?
Yeah.
Make that movement, do something about it.
It's tough, yeah.
Man, I think even because I don't always talk about it, but being empathic or just dealing with things, like feeling a lot, you know, I feel sometimes too much. I'm learning how to balance it out more. And like, I've had to learn how to really balance it out and almost become like stoic again in a way, just like knowing that I feel it, but I have to keep going through. But as of recently, I've gone back into that bag again, bro. I'm feeling things. I'm like, yo, I don't like being in that space for too long, man. So that's the reason why I'm just like, I'm kind of saying this to myself, man.
Yeah.
Waste no more time, bro. Like, to be honest with y'all as well, too. Like, don't waste much time. You know, you're not, you know, time is not, it's you know, we're on borrowed time.
Right.
And I talk, and if y'all don't know, I'm not mentioning my profession. I deal with older, you know, people all the time, and people that deal with disabilities and stuff like that. And it makes you appreciative a lot of times of what your circumstance is. Like even now, I'm fasting and dealing with things in a different way because I'm like, there's got to be a lot that's being put out there and chemicals and stuff I talk to you about. I'm like, yo, I got to avoid some of these issues, you know what I'm saying? Look at it now, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not wasting any time on that. I'm gonna stop eating all them burgers.
For real. I just got me a habit tracker this week, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see you knock them candies down. I'm like, bro, we gotta stop knocking these candies down, bro.
Hey, look, I don't smoke or drink.
Yeah.
That's my vice. The sweets, man, it's sweets is like, it's like that Krenak, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I got home at like 3 last night. Ate a piece of cheesecake.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You know, but it's like, don't knock yourself. Sometimes you do need to treat yourself at certain hours. Like you said, the habit tracker, because like you can eat in certain hour windows and still be able to maintain and keep yourself at a decent weight. Because like I've been losing weight just because I've changed like my diet and stuff that I've been consuming intentionally. Because when you see people taking 31 prescriptions or more, I'm like, I don't want to eat them candies. I better just like stop these candies. I gotta eat these candies because they eat them candies too, and I don't want them candies, bro. It's just too much. So
it's true.
Don't waste no time. If you see any issues, cut that short. Like
for real
now, you know what I'm saying? So
I got a call this morning about you know, a family member in the ICU. You know, dealt with, you know, those health problems like their whole life and stuff like that, and really wasn't even supposed to live this long. So, you know, prayers up for Cuzzo, but you know that a lot of times, especially in our community, we get to that point of no return and then start trying to make changes. So it's like
the eating habits. I think that's like, I don't want to say generational curse, but it's generational. Like some of the foods and stuff that we love to eat, like mac and cheese and greens, collard greens and ham hocks and all the stuff that tastes delicious when you're eating at that moment, but over time it ain't delicious when you gotta have IVs shut up into you, certain medication, insulins and Novolog and all this other stuff, metformin. I deal with these medications quite often, all day. And, you know, I can only say so much because I'm trying to lose my job. I got to still keep the lights on for the time being so I can get to more back into the IT department because that's what I want to go back into, cybersecurity. But I'm just trying to be strategic and move a certain way anyway. So, financially. But, yeah, man, you see it like, man, recipes to my cousin. Like, I had a cousin that passed away. I've told you about that as well. He had a son, like a month before he passed away, had a heart attack and then died, you know, at work. And I'm pretty sure it was stress, but it was also the food he was eating. Like Chicago, shout out to Chicago. Like I'm from the Chicago area. Like I've lived all throughout, and the food is amazing. But the outcome, eating all that Leon's and Harold's, it's delicious. It tastes scrumptious. Like when you in that moment, that lemon pepper is hitting, bro. Like you're like, oh my gosh, like that apple's
and that ice is hitting.
That Snapple apple and it's hitting, but then after some time, you know, eating babas and all that other stuff and all that fried food that's been denaturalized has no nutritional value.
Yeah,
you're just basically consuming things that are not contributing to your body, and also hindering. You know, my family has a history of heart attacks and diabetes, and hypertension, so and strokes and aneurysms and all types of stuff. I'm like, well, if I know these things historically have taken place, I'm not going to waste any more time with doing the same habits that they've done. So
exactly, gotta get to that point, man. And it's like, you know, work while you wait and be proactive. Yeah, it's like don't wait till you start getting the symptoms to start making changes. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the symptoms go away and then go back to the same thing you was doing before. And then just like certain situations, like with me with the art and stuff like that. There are some things I gotta wait on because I do have to do this one a certain way this time because I've done it the other ways before, and I want a certain result out of it this time that I know how to get that result. So there's certain things I have to wait on, but I need to be working while I do that.
How long you gonna
work while you wait? So it's like
let me ask you,
get somewhere.
Like when we want to expect the results, like sometimes I feel like that's another reason why we hesitant to complete things because we don't want to feel like it didn't work out the way we wanted to. But like if you never do it, it's got to be something you learn from that process. You know, I know I didn't get the success I want to get from my music. My music probably sounds dated. I don't care. I'm still gonna keep putting stuff out there. But I think I stopped myself from doing it because I wasn't expecting to be successful. I just wanted to do it, and it's like that mindset. Like sometimes I just feel like we stop from doing things because we're like afraid of not getting what we want to get out of the situation, like as if we failed. And it's like I think the true failure, honestly, is just not doing it at all. Like never like going to just do it. Like I know like even when music I just dropped. Like I didn't get no results. I don't think people even really. I mean, maybe a couple people, maybe one or two people, a handful of people probably listen to the project. It's cool, but I just had to just at least put it out. Like I feel like if I just kept sitting there, it's like more music coming, but I just feel like if I don't do this now,
it won't get done.
It will never ever freaking get done. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing? Like, how much more of a weight or perfectionism or whatever the heck I need to do in order to get to that point? I don't need to wait any longer. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like you said, you mentioned relationships and stuff like that, or just with people. A lot of times we'll keep things around or not dismiss or get rid of certain situations because we want to hold on to certain stuff. And it's like some situations are just baggage and it's just holding you back. So you gotta drop off that baggage and just keep it moving because obviously it's not conducive to your growth. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
I think that's another part too. Like sometimes we might think that holding off or whatever, that might be baggage. That might be holding you back. You know, you might have another stage you need to go through in your life, but yet you still haven't gone through that and gotten that out the way. So sometimes that might be another part too. Like to kind of correlate those two things. That's what I kind of look at it as now. I'm like, dang, like if I had done this before and stopped waiting, I might not get the expected result, but at least I put it out there. So that's all I'm saying, man.
100%. I mean, and it's important to know why you're waiting. You know, because like for me, it's not a fear thing involved. There's a little bit, like I said, over analysis, paralysis kind of thing, but not more so just like I don't know if it's like paradox of choice, where it's just like so many different options and stuff like that. So many different ways you could go. So many just like being indecisive. Okay. So I think it's more like indecision, but like not necessarily being afraid of making the wrong decision. It's just like what do I want? Just figuring out what I want. And so I mean, it's kind of different, but at the same time, it's like you have to. I think one of the most like valuable traits is, or really skills, is learning to harness impatience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I feel like that's something I need to do a little bit better. Is harnessing impatience, because I'm a very, very patient person, sometimes to a fault. Went and shot this film in Kansas, and like everybody was just like, "Man, you're so freaking zen, man. How do you do it? Like, you were the most patient person I've ever met." And I'm just like, "Man, you don't understand. If I let myself go the other way, it's over. You know what I'm saying? I am my father's son." But it's like learning. Everything that we talk about pretty much comes back to the same thing. It's like balance. Finding that balance of being patient and impatient, you know, using that impatience to help push myself forward and push those around me forward, is something I need to get better at.
Yeah, I understand that, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, you know, not to kind of talk in circles, but like definitely, man, like just being able to find that middle ground always super important. Because I found myself like procrastinating a lot in college too, bro. Like I'm in that stage of my life, I'll wait till the day before, do a 15-page term paper. I'm like, why I wait till I could have did 3 pages a week and edited them things for like the last 5 weeks. I would have had a paper done,
right?
Had less work, but I would just push it off, and it's just like, what do you really gain from that? Like you're actually taking away from you.
That's one of the things I dislike about myself a little bit, because like I feel like I need pressure to move, that fire under me to move, but I'm great under pressure. But like I shouldn't need that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a waste of time.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. I mean, I've worked pretty well in some ways under pressure, but I've had to be in situations I'm like, man, I didn't know it was pressure. I just was doing stuff. But yeah, man, it's like, I don't know, man. Eventually, it gets tiresome to keep doing it to yourself too, though.
Absolutely.
I will say it definitely gets tiresome to keep pushing stuff to the side, and then when it all hits the fan. I used to be like that a lot when I was younger. People in my family were like, why do you wait till the last minute on everything? I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to deal with it. So I would avoid it, because I just would try to avoid. I think seeing so much conflict growing up in the house, so I just would try to avoid. I was always looking for peace. Like, me too. Yeah. And sometimes I wonder if like we're looking for peace in ways that are not always gonna be peaceful for you in the end. Mm-hmm. And like wasting time and not really setting yourself up, because you get that misconception of peace of being a place where everything is just like cool and relaxed, but like. And like you see that it takes certain things for peace to even be put into place in the first place. Yeah, that's another part that I just be like, dang, I never thought about that until like I actually just now.
That's just bars right there.
But yeah, it's like you gotta put things into place in order to get your peace. Yeah, and it's just like if you don't position those things to get that peace,
you're right.
You're gonna deal with a lot of chaos.
It's like choosing the dessert before you eat your meal, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or, choosing that 100,000 now instead of the million later, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like taking that momentary piece of, I'll just do it later. I'm gonna just watch TV right now, you know what I'm saying?
Because it feel good, man. Yeah. It's like you getting that what they call it?
Was it like getting dopamine?
Yeah, dopamine. Oh, you're definitely getting dopamines from that. So. Yeah. That's very interesting as well.
For real, and endorphins.
Yeah, so. But I mean, in the perfect world, I mean, to keep beating at certain things, only so much, but at the same time, it is good to kind of think about these things and kind of put it in perspective, because if you don't, you'll just continue on. You just continue to keep doing the same thing you've been doing. Definition of insanity, expecting different results. Right. It's like until you ruffle those feathers, like you said, putting the situation, sometimes you don't really realize it. So I've been doing a lot of realizations lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, be like a lot of realizations, and I've just been like,
damn, I was really into continue. I was really just going with the flow with a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, not even thinking about it. Like, I was just, okay, this is what was going to happen. I didn't think that all this is going to come from this. I'm just going with the flow, son. Like, sometimes your flow just has a catastrophic blowout. You're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about some stuff subliminally, but
Right.
you know what I'm talking about? It's funny. But it's just like, I didn't think, like, okay, like, I didn't think this is all going to happen from this. This weird stuff,
Didn't know
man.
this for the river let out.
Yeah, a lot of weird things going on. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. I'm over here just ranting a little bit, but it's just like, I don't always see the things. Sometimes I can be too optimistic about stuff and just go, okay, yeah, let's do that. And then, end result is like catastrophic. Like, a lot of stuff is going on, a lot of weird microcosms and just different little petty stuff is happening. It's like,
Right.
I waste my time with this. Why did this happen?
Yeah. It's like, why didn't I just value myself more, value my time more in the beginning? And then it maybe this wouldn't have been the situation, been the case.
But don't waste no more time, y'all. But just really honestly, at the end of the day, again, coming back to that conclusion, I don't want to cut things too short. I know we kind of have longer episodes, but y'all, don't waste no time, man.
Yeah.
You're not getting that back.
For real.
I talk to older people all the time. They be talking about, man, I remember this and I remember that. That's a lot of remembering right there. That's a lot of years of remembering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we take all these moments for granted. It's all we're doing is living in moments.
Absolutely.
So control your controllables if you can, to the best of your extent. You know what I'm saying? You got a project, you gotta get things. Just do it. You'd be surprised. Like, you'd be like, okay, I'm glad I got out the way. Now I can go.
Sure.
Now I can go do other things.
Yeah.
Don't be like me. Wait 7 years and just drop a project out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nobody even listens to it. But it's cool. I don't get upset. I just wanted to get the music out. I've been doing so much artwork and been successful with that. I just want to at least get that part out of my artistic journey because I put some time into that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And was really adamant about getting it done and actually put the art to the back burner when I got the degree in that. So, just take advantage of your time.
Harness the impatience.
Oh, man. Sometimes you gotta be in. I used to not understand when I was so like, get it done. But if she just let things go to the flow, everything would probably just fall apart. So I get it. I get it now. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Sometimes you gotta get to it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But again, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. For whoever tuned in, we appreciate y'all. So much love, appreciation. We're glad that you're safe. You're able to get a piece of this. These ideas, these thoughts, these thinkings.
These thinkings.
You know what I'm saying? So again, my name is Jacquil and Adrian.
Adrian, peace.
And this is the Nice Guys Podcast. Y'all stay safe, blessed. One.
Peace.